Hey guys, the Gadget Man here with Nothing But Gadgets, and today what I'm going to be doing is basically going through the setup and menu settings on the WOSPORTS G600 trail camera. So 3, 2, 1, let's get at it. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and set this baby up. This is the WOSPORTS G600 trail camera. It's a 30 megapixel camera from WOSPORTS, and I love this battery design, so you can just pull it out right here. Today I'm going to be using Amazon.com basic AA alkaline batteries. You know, if you've never tried these before, I just want to tell you right now they're surprisingly good. I've tried a lot of different kinds of batteries, different budget brand batteries. Of all the batteries I've tested, Energizer, Duracell, Rayovac, Ultras, all those things, these actually have the highest voltage rating out of the package of any battery. Most batteries start out at the package around 1.6 volts. These start at in package at 1.65 volts, so they've got a little more power in them than most batteries brand new. So that's a good thing. Now this camera takes 8 batteries to fully load it up. Now you can get away with 6 batteries because it is a 6-volt system. But if you want to last longer in the field, you have to use a full 8 batteries. That gives it 2 6-volt battery banks to draw from. And with trail cameras, keeping that voltage up is actually a very needed thing, because trail cameras, for some odd reason, they just don't like low voltage environments, and they tend to mess up if they don't have a good solid high voltage. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and put that into the camera. Now let's go ahead and put an SD card in there. I have my little SD card carrier here. Let me grab an SD card out. Now, one of my favorite cards to use is the Samsung Evo Select card. We've got a 32 gigabyte here, and we'll put that in. All right, now let's go through the setup process of getting this camera ready for going out in the field. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this little camera up. Now, we're going to start by pushing it over here one space over to aim mode, which is basically the menu and setup mode on it. So it'll turn on here. Okay, there's the M button right here. That accesses the menu. And let's just go down through the list. So the first thing we have is the mode. Let's go ahead. And we have photo, video, and photo, video. For this test, I'm going to be putting it out in the field. I'm going to be taking photos and videos because I want to see how both of them look. Okay, and then we have photo resolution here. Now, it has all the way up to 30 megapixels. Let's see how far it goes down. From 5 to 30 megapixels. Let's put it in 30 megapixels because I want to see the best it possibly can do. Photo series. This is going to be how many photos it's going to take each time. I'm going to set it to 1 photo. Video resolution, I want maximum video resolution, which in this case is 1920 by 1080p. It does have the option of 2080 by 720p, those two options. So let's just go with maximum. Video length. I like, for testing purposes, 10 seconds. It's already on 10 seconds. It does have longer periods. But longer periods of video, especially at night where the LED lights have to be on all the time, will drain the battery quicker. But for testing, I always use 10 seconds so I get a consistent testing here. But you do have 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and 2 minutes. And that's your only option. So we're going to do 10 seconds. Do you want to record audio? It does have the ability to record audio, and we're going to leave that on. Shot lag. Now, what shot lag is how long you want in between captures. Basically, the lag time between when the sensors become activated. So, when the sensors are active, anything that moves is going to turn the camera on and take a picture. But you can program it to wait a while before the sensors become active. So, if there's something in front of it that's just moving, it won't just keep taking picture after picture or video after video. So, it's set to 30 seconds. Actually, for my testing, I like 10 minutes, which 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. This does not have a 10-minute option, so I'm just going to go with 30 minutes. Side motion sensors, these right here. Now, do you want those on? What side motion sensors do is kind of wake the camera up. This is the main sensor, and it's when something is detected here, it's going to actually take the picture. But sometimes the animal is moving fast, might get through the sensor range before it activates the camera, because the camera has to wake up from a standby state. So the side motion sensors sense things moving towards the field of the main sensor view and wake the camera up so that when something touches the edge of that field, it's going to take a picture. Now, if you're just setting it to take one picture at a time, it's not a good idea to leave the side motion sensors on, because what you're going to end up with is just the nose or the head of something. But since I've got it set to take a videos, 10-second video, it will catch a picture of the animal coming into the screen, but then the video will catch the rest of the animal. So it depends on how you set it up, whether or not you want the side motion sensors. If you're just taking one picture, then it probably is not a good idea. Okay, but I'm going to leave it on. Sensor level. This is how strong the sensors and how much motion you want them to detect. Now, each camera is different on this. I always start out with high, and then if I get too many false positive where the camera takes pictures of something of nothing that's there, very small things that you can't see, then I will reduce it down later. Target recording time. Now, if you want the camera to record or be active and functioning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, then leave this off. But if you want it only to be active during certain hours of the day, you can set up a target recording time. Since I use my cameras in a wildlife setting, animals do not move from about 9 o'clock in the morning till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There might be a latecomer around 10 o'clock, but most animals move between 4 o'clock in the afternoon and 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to set it to start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which will be 1600 hours. Okay. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to have it turn off at, let's just go to 10 a.m. Okay. Now, press back on the menu to go backwards. We'll go down time-lapse recording. What time-lapse recording is time-lapse recording. Basically, it's going to turn off all the other functions of the camera. None of the motion detector or any of that's going to work. It's just basically going to take pictures on a schedule that you tell it. So if you turn this on, it'll give you the option of setting up a different time. Every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 30 minutes, or every 1 hour. I do not like this for my testing. If you just want to take a picture ever so often, then string them together to make a video. Now, just to be clear, it does not make the video. It just takes a bunch of pictures. You will have to actually take those pictures and make the time-lapse video out of the camera. So there's a little work to be done after you do this if you use it for time-lapse. So we'll do that. Turn that off. Okay. Language. It's obviously set to English, and it has 2 other languages, Chinese and Dutch. We're going to leave it set to English. Date and time. Let's go ahead and set the date and time here, which today is January 26th, 2022. So let's go to 1. We'll go down here, 26 and up to 21. And the time is 5 p.m., which will be 1700 hours. It's now 5:01, so that's good. Okay. Now we can set the time format. It's currently in the 2400 hours or 24 hour. We can set that down to 12 hours, which I prefer. Okay, date format. If you have different preferences on your date, it's set to month, day, and year, such as October 10th to 2022. I like that, but you can set it to 2022, October 10th, or to October 10th, or the 10th of October 2022. So I'm going to leave it right here. Press the menu button to go back, and let's go back further. Okay. Photo stamp. Now, if you want the date and time to show on the photo, on the picture that it takes, you can leave that, or you can just have the date, or you can turn it off. I'm going to leave date and time since I'm monitoring wildlife and I want that stamped right on the picture. Password protection. If you want to turn password protection on, you can do this here by pressing on and putting it to the on position. What this is going to do is lock out the menu that unless you have the password. It will not stop people from stealing the camera. It will only stop them from using the camera or modifying the settings. They can still use the camera, they just can't modify the settings. So I don't really see a purpose in this. I'm not even sure, it will not stop people from stealing the camera. It just basically makes it a little irritating when they try to open it up and get to the menu system. Format memory card. I have already installed the memory card, so let's go ahead. I always recommend that you format the memory card in the camera itself for best function. And waiting for that to finish. Memory card is formatted. Now let's go down. Serial number. This is where you can actually give your camera a name. So we'll just call this, we can come here and give it a name. Now let's see, it has numbers. And it does have, it has letters. So this is a WOSPORTS, so we'll go there. Oh. And go to Woo. And we'll just do WOSP. Okay, so that's the name of the camera. Now that will actually be recorded and burned onto the image so that you know what camera the pictures were taken by. You can give it a number or a name. Okay, so we'll leave that on. Oops. And press the menu and we'll go back. Reset settings. If you want to reset the camera back to the factory settings like it came to me as I just started right here, you press that and it'll go back. But I'm not going to do that because I've spent all this time setting it up, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, version will give you the version of firmware that you have, which is 1.0, the very first version of firmware that you have. If you need support from the factory, this would be something they might ask you, what version of firmware. Other than that, you don't need to know that. Software updates. If the factory releases a firmware update, you will use this function along with your SD card where you download the update to actually update the firmware on the camera, but we don't have that, so we're not going through that process right now. And then we're back to mode, and that is how you set this camera up. Now it's ready to go in the field. I'm going to put it in the field, and when you get in there, just click it on and let it do its job. So, all right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, this is the Gadget Man saying, I'll see you later.